Apologies if my audio is different. Sorry. April 6th, 3:25 p.m. Big Building, Plaza. All right, Kay. If you could set Mr. Thief in motion.
Sure. Looks like there's more than enough here to work with. Where do you want to start?
Good question. Let's see. It seems there was an eyewitness. A freelance journalist by the name of F-Aldown. 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 You... Ace Attorney, I love you, but simultaneously, I also hate you. The puns that you do drive me up the wall. But apparently, he was killed by the culprit for witnessing the kidnapping.
So this is where he saw it all happen, huh?
Here? As in the big building?
No. Construction of the big building only began a year ago. Before that, it had been a piece of abandoned property. And before that...
Now we're getting to the stuff I know. 12 years ago, this place would have been... the Happy Family Home.
Wait, an orphanage? Like, for retired people?
No. It was a place for children without parents. An orphanage, in other words.
The president was kidnapped from an orphanage?
Yeah. And the place was run by Fifi Lagarde. She called it her happy little home.
That certainly explains why she runs she ran the prison the way that she used to.
As the proprietor of the institution, I suppose it's understandable that she came under suspicion.
President Wong, Excelsius winner, and Warren Lagarde? Quite the combination with these three. Surely the SS5 incident must be related to our current case. Kay, could you enter the data relating to the murder of Mr. F-Aldown? It seems sensible to assume that he was killed by whoever kidnapped the president.
So if we solve the murder, we solve the kidnapping. Nice.
All right, we're counting on you. All right, little thief, show us what you got, Patty. We have a huge crowd for this. Whoa. Damn. Oh, it's his first time seeing this. Whoa.
What the heck is this?
When did I grow to become so blasé towards people's reactions to Mr. Thief? What we're seeing here is the front yard of the orphanage as it was 12 years ago. At least as far as the police reports describe it.
Yeah, this is how it looked when they started investigating at 7 a.m. the morning after the murder.
And it seems it had been snowing.
Yeah, from what I heard, the footprints wound up being pretty important evidence. The snow fell in the daytime the previous day.
In other words, before the incident occurred. Meaning that none of the relevant footprints would have been obscured by new snow. I think we'll need to pay these footprints some special attention. All right. Let's talk to these guys first.
Boy howdy, is this ever a scoop. Whole world's gone green. Must be an outbreak, something? I'm seeing green trees, green people, green clothes, everything. They must be real sick if even their clothes are green. Looks like we wound up slap bang in the middle of the right dang place at the right dang time. Sure did, Chief. I don't think we're going to get a word in edgewise here at Mr. Edgeworth.
And I don't think we want to.
Hey, guys. How dare you, Scruffy? Don't you dare tell anybody. I'll just deny it anyway.
Mr. Edgeworth, you gotta help me out here, sir.
What's the matter, detective?
It's about the SS5 incident. What else? I know Chairman Winter isn't in charge anymore and all, but a top secret file being available to us so quickly after his removal, something seemed off. So that got me to thinking, and I put in a call, and they told me that, well, that Miss Von Karma went to some pretty extreme lengths to get that file released.
Curse you, Scruffy! I deny everything!
It sounds like you went to a lot of trouble for our sake, Franziska. Don't worry. Your efforts won't be for nothing. I'll solve this case. You'll see.
Thank you, Franziska. We love you.
3 planters, covered with snow.
Is anything the matter, Agent Lang?
Yeah, something's not right. I wasn't able to look at the case file until now.
Indeed. You have Chairman Winner to thank for that, it seems.
Yeah, but what's weird is, I've seen this scene somewhere before.
What?
But where? I keep thinking I've got it, but then it's gone.
He appears to be lost in his efforts to remember. Perhaps I should leave him alone for now.
President Wong changed after the SS5 incident. I guess he felt his trust had been betrayed. I can understand that. But to cut ties with my family completely, after how close we'd been for all those years? My father was desperate to make amends, to get just one chance to say sorry. But no matter how many times he tried to get honest with the president, he couldn't. He couldn't even convince them to take a letter to him.
What if the president was swapped? Like maybe they swapped the president with like a fake. You know, maybe like a body double. Install a new president, or I don't know. And they didn't let your family in because you would have noticed the difference immediately. Or maybe your father would know immediately.
One time, he came home covered in bruises. Who knows from where? A bodyguard, maybe? Sorry. There's no point making you sit through old stories that won't change anything anyway.
I'll be the judge of that.
As warm and fuzzy as ever, I see. Not that I expected any different. That case ruined my father. And my family, too. The people who failed to keep the president safe. That's all we were after that. He threw himself heart and soul into that investigation.
He became obsessed, in other words. Hardly the best state of mind in which to undertake an inquiry.
Wow, you really don't pull your punches, huh? Look, just don't go thinking I'm only doing this because of my dad, okay? That investigation was solid. His work was meticulous and it was accurate. It always was. He interviewed every single one of those kids and made sure they told him everything.
I wonder if he learned anything of value. I'll have to figure that out later. Shifu, I know it's rude of me to ask, but can we count off for old time's sake? Just once. I'm begging you.
For old time's sake. Seems a little sentimental, but fine. Count off!
1! Sorry, Shifu. It just doesn't feel the same on my own. It's kinda lonely.
Fool! It shouldn't matter if there's only one of you or 100. You may be on your own here right now, but the pack is always with you. So quit whining about being lonely and howl like you mean it. Count off!
1! 1! 1! 1. Is he crying?
I think he is.
Looks chillier than your chilliest lookout here, Mazzarino. Somebody might have to warm me up.
Could you maybe take this a little more seriously, Mr. Fender?
For you, K-Meister, anything. Can't believe this whole sorry tale began right here. Kinda crazy, right?
Yes, it is a little.
What were thieves and the chairman up to, though? Where were they going with all this?
There indeed. I'd very much like to know that myself.
And I'd very much like to know when you two are going to admit how much you love your Uncle Eddie.
Not anytime soon. Come on, Mr. Fender. You're not taking this seriously at all.
He did for about 3 sentences, which is something of a record. All right, how's the parent and child doing over here?
Can I help you, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'd like to talk to you.
I cannot thank you all enough for returning Sean safely to me. I can hardly bear to imagine how I would have felt if he had not come home.
Hey, old guy, can't you see you're upsetting her?
That was not my intent at all. Oh, you can immediately feel the love between these two.
Look at our little knight in shining armor, defending his mom's honor. Shut up. I wouldn't have to if you didn't keep...
That's enough, Sean. Mr. Edgeworth, if you will allow me, I would like to apologize again. I failed in my duty as a servant of justice. I will not ask you to forgive me. I only ask you to understand that
You were a mother. You're a mother before you are a judge. It is completely understandable. I would never hold that against you. Judge Gavel, I don't presume to know the goddess of justice as well as you do. But she was a mother, was she not? Of other gods and goddesses?
she was.
Fair judgment requires personal circumstances to be taken into account. I'm sure she would understand. Perhaps your beloved goddess is more merciful than you give her credit for.
Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth.
What are they even talking about? Don't worry, Sean. I don't have a clue either.
So, things are finally settling down after Warden Lagarde's trial?
It would seem so. Sentencing is still to come, but the guilty verdict should stand. And do not worry, Excelsius Winter's connection to the case will be thoroughly investigated. Have faith, Mr. Edgeworth. Eustace is a changed man.
We saw that firsthand. Indeed. He simply had some growing to do, but then, don't we all? Kay included.
Kind of feel for him now. I said some pretty mean things, but I'll make it up to him next time I get the chance.
And I'm sure that chance will come. But for now?
Indeed. We need to focus on the case at hand.
What do you want?
Sean, I wonder if you could tell us a little more about the circumstances surrounding your kidnapping.
They took you when you went to the garbage disposal area, right? But what were you doing there?
It's all right. You don't have to talk for him. He can just ask me himself.
Hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? I think he's starting to warm to you.
I went to the garbage disposal to throw away the flowers that were on that body. It wasn't far, and I figured they'd be less likely to find them there than if I threw them in a garbage can. I tried to get in there last night, too, but it was locked. So you had to come back today and try again? Yeah, but when I was there, somebody came up behind me and put something over my face.
Oh yeah! Snoozing is easy threezy with 3 Z's.
The fact that she was drugged with it too doesn't seem to bother her. I guess it is a catchy name. Whoever it was pretty strong, but I never saw their face. I see. Thank you. That's very helpful. Okay, that's fair. What can you tell us about the time between when you were kidnapped and when you were found?
Not a whole lot, I'll bet. Snoozing is easy threezy with 3 Z's.
I remember waking up feeling cold.
I was somewhere big and empty and dark. There are cardboard boxes with some of the language written on them. I figured it must be a storeroom. But it was actually a giant refrigerator. Businesses use them to keep stuff chilled.
And that's where Kay and Detective Gumshoe found him. They really saved the day there.
Guess the cooler must have been on until just before I was brought there. Like I said, it was pretty cold. Anyway, they didn't take my phone for some reason. So I used that to call for help.
I see. Well, we're all very glad that you found your way back to us safely.
Ah, say it like you mean it, why don't you?
He's not the most gracious child I've met.
Reminds me of a certain somebody else.
That's fine. All right, let's actually take a look at this. These planters.
According to the case file, the yard stretched around 3 sides of the orphanage. And there were 3 planters on each side.
The yard stretched around 3 sides of the building. There were 3 square planters on each side. Okay, so if it's on the left side, isn't that the same area where the movie's like being shot? That would explain why there were like 3 big broken concrete sections and why somebody was trying to dig something up. Well, specifically Excelsius. Yes, planters arranged in a very particular pattern. One we've seen somewhere before.
Shame there are many flowers, but I guess it was the middle of winter.
Yes, but look at that one. It's bright yellow.
Weird. How come there's only one? Wait. It looks like somebody dropped it.
That's a lion lily, if I am not very much mistaken. A rare family of a rare member of the family Liliaceae. A lion lily, you say?
Wait, didn't Judge Gavel give President Wong some lion lilies?
What is the same flower doing here? This can't be a coincidence, can it? I believe this particular cultivar is from Asia, where it's said to symbolize the bond between parent and child. I wasn't aware you were so knowledgeable when it came to flowers, Francisca.
What I just told you is common knowledge. Perhaps you just need to read a little more.
Oh, wait a minute, I've been looking at this wrong. Let's say we don't have any knowledge about who the father is of Sean. Mostly because I'd probably bury them immediately. But now that I'm thinking about it, what if the reason why Gavel met with Dijing Wong? 2 reasons. He was kidnapped at the orphanage. What if she was raised at said orphanage? So, what if there is a slight chance... No, that wouldn't make any sense. Why? I mean, adopted father, maybe? No, that wouldn't work. Okay, I need more information. F-Aldown, man who witnessed the president's kidnapping. But what exactly did he see?
I based this part of the recreation on one of the crime scene photos.
Oh, thank you. It seems he suffered a blow to the back of the head.
Yeah, from that brick right there. They figured it must have been taken from here in the yard.
It looks like the blood flowed from the head wound and spread over the surrounding area.
Here, a gift for you. This is I keep trying to say F-Aldown. Mr. Aldown's autopsy report.
Victim was struck on the head and died at around 1 a.m. on February 10th. February 10th. All right.
Somebody's dropped a yellow flower here. It's a lion lily, right?
According to Francisca, yes. They're originally from Asia, if I recall correctly.
I literally just told you that. Yep, and she said it symbolizes the pond being painted or tiled, right?
The bond between parent and child.
Yeah, that one.
It was the bond between parent and child, Kay. This cell phone must have belonged to the victim.
You're right. Yeah, it says here in the file that Mr. Aldown made a call while he was watching the kidnapping.
A call? To whom?
His girlfriend. Seems he called her when he saw that the president was there. But she didn't pick up, so he left a message.
That's in here too, if you want to hear it.
Please.
Hey, Rosie, it's me. I guess you were asleep already.
Rosie Ring? You were dating Rosie Ringer? I'm sorry.
Hey, Rosie, it's me. I guess you're already asleep. Anyway, I'm here at the orphanage. Something weird's going on. President Wong is here for some reason, and there's another... Damn it, the light's out, so I can't quite see, but... It looked like he was being... kidnapped? Anyway, probably nothing. Anyway, probably nothing, but I thought I should let you know.
What were those sounds at the end?
He must have been attacked while he was still on the phone.
Agent Lang, can I ask you something? Mr. Aldown's girlfriend, what was her name?
Ringer. Rosie Ringer. At least that's what I heard.
Oh, wow.
Just as I thought.
Wait! You mean...
The murder victim of our last...
Wait. Wait.
Her revenge for what happened 12 years ago.
All Miss Ringer was left with were the memories and personal effects of her lover. And so, seeking revenge on Chairman Winner, she made her appearance at the auction.
So she really was out for revenge on Chairman Winner, wasn't she?
Perhaps it was for his suppression of the kidnapping. Or perhaps it was because she thought he was one of the kidnappers. God, this whole case is ridiculous. F-Aldown, freelance journalist. Killed after witnessing the kidnapping of President Wong.
Even in the recreation, it's pretty gruesome, huh?
It's even worse than the actual crime scene photos. That's a lot of blood. It seems mostly to have come from the back of his head. As you can see, that area is completely caked.
Yeah. The autopsy report says that's where he was hit with the brick.
Indeed. I imagine his attacker must have snuck up on him from behind. It looks as if he's clutching something in his right hand.
Oh yeah! They mentioned that in the file somewhere. Let's see. According to this, it was a button.
Ooh. Oh, that might be a button from his attacker, maybe. It's a blue button sort of number. A blue button. A button? Torn from the attacker's clothing, perhaps. Found clutched in Aldown's right hand. The blood is his. This was the brick used in the murder.
There's stuff made of bricks all around the yard here. They probably took it from somewhere nearby, huh?
So the victim was carrying a camera.
Oh, yeah. According to the file, they recovered a picture. Yeah, here you are.
Oh. Oh, shit. That's... Okay, we have this... I was gonna say smoking gun. There's a handprint on the snowman. Oh, that's where the button came from. Okay, so it wasn't from the attacker, it was from the snowman.
It's the president, right?
And somebody's pointing a gun at him. This must be what Mr. F-Aldown witnessed.
So the person in the trench coat is the kidnapper?
Yes, I imagine they were trying to conceal their identity. But if Agent Lang's father's theory was correct, the person wearing that trench coat is Warden Lagarde. But it can't be.
How come they only found the one picture?
He probably wasn't able to take any more before he was attacked. I don't think that's Warden Lagarde. I don't know. I can't look at the footprints? That's surprising. Okay.
Yes! Knew it.
So that's what our monstrous hoof prints really were.
Wait, what?
Recall the arrangement of the prints. Now compare it to that of the planters.
Whoa!
That's right. I believe the footprints are located exactly where our planters once stood.
So Chairman Winter was digging around the front of them?
He was. And why might he have been doing that? We have a piece of evidence in our possession that answers exactly that question. Which piece of evidence shows why Chairman Winter might have been digging in front of the planters? Right there. The report on night. Recall, if you will, the report that Warden Lagarde sent to Chairman Winter. In it, she mentioned something that had been laid to rest in front of a planter.
You think she was telling him where to dig? Wait, but why 3 holes?
Because the report didn't specify which of the planters she meant.
Oh, I get it. So he wasn't sure which one it was. Which meant he had to try and dig up all 3.
I imagine so, yes. Poor Chairman Winter.
But why go to all that trouble? What was he looking for?
The guard asked him to dig something up near a planter, but what?
Hey! This arch! We've seen it somewhere before, right?
Indeed we have. It's the same one that stands over the entrance of the big building today.
But this is supposed to be how things looked 12 years ago. Was it there the whole time?
It seems the architects worked the old archway into the structure of the new building.
The future is simply the past reheated. I think I heard that somewhere.
No, it's... And for once it seems you might have remembered it correctly.
But 12 years is a long time to reheat something for... Well, if it was your lunch, it'd be ruined.
You know what? I'll let you have that. I'm looking at the clock right now. Let's see, so... That's about 7:20-ish. Wait, that doesn't line up. 7:20 either AM or PM. And our body over here, I don't know. Okay, oh wait, I guess it's probably when he was discovered. I'm silly me.
I can't believe there used to be an orphanage right here on this spot. And that Warden Lagarde was in charge.
and that the SS5 incident took place there 12 years ago.
Yeah, they kidnapped the president of Zhang Fa. That's crazy.
And they killed Mr. F-Aldown, the only witness that we know of anyway. Then kept all the details secret for all those years. The more I think about that...
The more you smell something fishy going on. Yeah, me too. What's even weirder is the people involved. I think we know all of them, don't we?
The guard, Winner, President Wong. When I think back over all the cases we've been involved with recently, it's true, I can't help but think they're all connected.
Then we have to dig into this latest mystery and snatch the treasure of truth from inside of it. I'll keep updating the simulation as we find new stuff. Just be sure to look over everything super carefully, okay?
So, we're calling on Mr. Thief's help once again,
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, it's Little Thief. And no matter how useful Little Thief is, if the information we plug in is wrong, the simulation will be wrong too. If you spot anything that doesn't make sense, try comparing it to the evidence we've collected.
And we can examine and interact with everything in the simulation as if it were really there. Correct?
Right. Just walk up to it and do what you'd usually do. Also, we don't have enough to go on right now, but if you can gather enough intel, I can even recreate a simulation of a different span of time.
All right. I'm counting on you should the time come. What the hell is all this black stuff? There are burn marks on this pillar here.
The report says there was a fire sometime on the evening of the incident.
A fire?
Let's see, where was it again? Yeah, one of the orphans set a fire with some kerosene. Some sort of prank at pet, probably.
They sound like a lively bunch. Possibly too lively. It seems their antics spoiled our chances of finding any footprints near the entrance of the building.
I like this little pose he's got right there.
One of the children set the orphanage yard on fire as a prank sometime during the evening before the incident. Oh, shit. Okay, there we go. I was like wondering why couldn't I examine the footprints? I had to go outside of the crime scene to look at it. Okay. I mean, not outside the... You know what I mean. These footprints stop by the body.
I guess that means they belong to Mr. F-Aldown, right? His feet were pretty big. What's that, about a size 12? According to the file, they were the same size as his shoes. It's a match.
Wait. There's two pairs of footprints over here. You're not looking at the footprints, pal. These footprints go toward the body and come back. Oh, wait, it's not a double, it's... Okay.
According to the case file, they're thought to be the killers. They're about a size 9. Pretty average, in other words. It seems the police weren't able to track down who the murderer was from them, though.
I think that's about all we can learn from the scene for now. Oh, I was okay.
All right! How about I try and show you how things looked earlier on that night?
That would be very much appreciated. Could you take us back to the moment at which the victim witnessed the kidnapping?
Sure! I'll use the photograph we took. Here goes nothing.
I love it when she does this. There's Mr. F-Aldown in the middle of the planters.
And there's the president and his kidnapper out by the road.
My father based his investigation on the evidence F-Aldown provided. That was why he thought the kidnapping and the orphanage were connected somehow.
And how he wound up suspecting Fifi Lagarde. She was the one running the orphanage at the time.
Exactly. But when the case went to trial, Excelsior's Winner put a big hole in that theory.
He did?
Yeah, After all, the president and the kidnapper weren't actually on the grounds of the orphanage. So it was hard to conclusively prove any kind of connection.
Huh. So they were never seen inside the gates of the orphanage.
Detectives bust a gut to find evidence on the scene. And then prosecutors come along and twist it for their own ends. Winner and Lagarde were working together. They had some kind of deal. I'm sure of it.
So you're saying that Chairman Winner was working with the kidnapper?
Was Winner involved? Got Lagarde acquitted of all the kidnapping. Were they accomplices? Your father was convinced that Lagarde was the culprit, correct? And you say he was gifted and a thorough investigator. Then he must have had more to support his theory than just Mr. F-Aldown's message, surely.
Yeah, he must have. I just don't know what it was. It wasn't exactly a case he liked talking about.
Agent Lang's father, DeLong Long. A trusted ally and confidant of President Wong. He discovered truths that were subsequently suppressed by Chairman Winner. Our first priority should be to find out who they... Find out what they were. It was my dumbass.
That's kind of neat.
These planters.
According to the case file, the yard stretched around 3 sides of the orphanage. And there were 3 planters on each side.
Yes, planters arranged in a very particular pattern. One we've seen somewhere before.
Shame there aren't many flowers, but I guess it was the middle of winter.
Yes, but look at that one. It's bright yellow.
Weird. How come there's only one? Wait, it looks like somebody dropped it.
Oh, we've already talked about this. We are literally just repeating the exact same thing, aren't we? You know what? Fuck it. I'll take it. It's just a reminder of all the information that I need about, like, oh, by the way, it symbolizes, like, just... Oh, well. Mr. F-Aldown took his picture of the president's kidnapping from here.
And then called Rosie Ringer.
By which point his killer must have already been approaching from behind.
With the brick in their hand, ready to strike.
You're blue. If you were green, he would... Well, I mean, because he's green, he would die. Alright, right off the bat, I already know what I'm gonna do. Whenever I get the chance to.
Hey, that snowman. It was melted in the simulation of the morning after the murder, right? Uh-huh. And that muffler was all wet, and its little button eye had fallen off.
Indeed. It still looked reasonably healthy at this point. Although not entirely. I can see one thing that's missing.
Aw, poor guy. I bet some kid took it as a stupid prank. Not a bad piece of thieving, though. Maybe they had potential.
You think one of the orphans took it? I'm not so sure. In fact, I think it was grabbed by somebody else entirely. Dijung Wang. He was president of Zhengfa even back then.
Does he look any younger? It's kind of dark, can't really tell.
Indeed. And the situation being what it is, his facial expression is somewhat distorted.
I wonder why they took him after this.
We don't know that yet. But depending on how our investigation progresses, we may find out soon enough. The president's kidnapper.
We should see if we can judge anything based on their appearance.
Roger that, Red Leader. All right, let's have a look at you.
The first thing to note is that they're holding the president at gunpoint.
Trying to look all cool and tough waving a pistol around. Whoever it is, they suck.
Their coat and hat completely cover their face, so unfortunately we can't identify them that way.
Turning their collar up and pulling their hat down and trying to be all mysterious. I hate this kidnapper.
And they seem pretty relaxed. I don't think they're particularly nervous.
Yeah, hand in the pocket, classic show-off move. You suck, you suck, you suck!
Kate, that's...
What? You said to judge them by their appearance.
Well, yes, but I didn't mean it like that. Alright, right off the bat. Yes, it is related to the evidence. Eureka! This snowman is missing a certain something, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, his right eye.
Indeed. Luckily, we've managed to locate it.
The button Mr. F-Aldown was holding.
Wait a minute, then... What the... Then why was... But if he was knocked down over there... When did he grab the... When and why did he grab the button?
Look at that, it's the same type of button as the other eye and everything.
And if we suppose that the button was indeed the snowman's missing eye, that presents something of a contradiction. What does the button contradict? It would have to be the victim's location. Because, like, how else would he have grabbed it? The victim was clutching the button, and the button was covered with his blood, which means he must have grabbed it after being attacked. Let's run a little hypothetical, shall we? What if, after being struck, Mr. F-Aldown lost his balance and reached out to grab something to steady himself? The snowman. The snowman wouldn't have supported him, so he would have grasped the button and continued falling.
I get it. So you're saying that he was near the snowman when he was attacked?
I am. Within arm's reach, to be precise. And is currently nowhere near that close.
Right, but his footprints only go as far as the planter. He never came back this way.
What if they weren't his footprints? I think we need to look at all the prints again.
All right, I'll take us back to the scene when Mr. F-Aldown's body was found. But the footprints on the left definitely matched what Mr. F-Aldown's shoes, right? So what's the deal?
Let's take another look and see if we can figure it out. So, my initial thought is he was attacked outside. Wait, no, that wouldn't work. Wait, hold on. What? His shoes? The shoes. As the case file says, they match the footprints, but... These aren't the victim's shoes. I'm sure of it.
What do you mean?
Look at how the laces are tied. Don't they look a little strange to you?
How?
What's more, they don't appear to fit properly. Not actually F-Aldown shoes. They appear to have been placed on his feet by the culprit after the murder took place.
Okay. So these prints, they go right up to where the victim was found and they stop right by his feet.
But they didn't actually belong to him.
So are the prints by his head his? The ones that lead away and come back?
No, I don't think so. They're too small.
So neither set belongs to him. Then how did he get here?
That's easy enough. He didn't walk. He was carried by the killer. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Okay, so he was carried. Okay. Alrighty. So then where did the murder take place? Was it really over by the snowman as we suspect? carried. Oh shit, I didn't even notice that the snowman was melted. That completely made, okay. I think Mr. Aldown's body was moved. How else do we explain the button clutched in his hand? And that would suggest that he was killed somewhere near the snowman. I'd better take a closer look. Okay. Okay, what we got here?
Poor snowman. He's not looking good.
It can't be helped. Snow and ice eventually melt. That's just how it... Oh, whoa. Hold up! There's a gap there! There's a missing brick. There's a missing brick. We found the murder weapon. The brick... There's a spot.
And so do mysteries. All we have to do is wait. The snowman of the case will melt into the clear water of truth.
All you have to do is wait, Kay. I have to work to solve those mysteries. Hold the fucking phone!
Look, there's a brick missing here.
The rest of the brickwork looks fine. Strange that just this one is missing. No, I've already got that figured out. I don't believe there's any more to be found here. Yeah, about that. It seems quite likely that the missing brick was the one used in the murder, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah! Now that you mention it, they're the exact same shape and size.
All right. Then shouldn't I... Oh, it won't let me.
Size 9 footprints going toward the body and away from it. The case file says they must belong to the murderer.
They grow fainter as they get closer to the orphanage gates.
That's just because there's less snow over here, no?
Be that as it may, it certainly doesn't help in matching the prints up with the name and face. I feel like these are supposed to be connected. If I'm wrong, I still have plenty of health left. Okay, thank God, my hunch was right. I think we have to conclude that the murder actually happened over by the snowman.
Right. The button came from there, and the brick too.
Indeed. And what's more, if the murderer took the brick from right by the snowman, and then tried to sneak up on the victim all the way over by the planters...
Mr. Aldown would have seen them right away.
Exactly. I think we need to update the simulation, Kay. Mr. Aldown wasn't standing by the planters. He was next to the snowman.
Gotcha. All right, here goes.
Wow, that is,
Yeah, no matter how you look at it, this just doesn't work, huh?
Indeed. Everybody who was present is in exactly the same spot.
So where do we go wrong?
One of the pieces of evidence on which we base our simulation must be the source of the problem. What if one of them was faked somehow? Like the photo. What if the photo was faked? But which one was it?
Take that!
Can we really be certain that this picture was taken by Mr. Aldown?
Huh? What do you mean?
We know that whoever killed him moved his body. But why would they have done that? What if they wanted to make it seem like he saw something he didn't?
And then they took the photo to help back up the lie?
They had the president at gunpoint. They could easily have forced him to pose for the punk picture. He would have had no choice but to comply.
Hey, now that you mention it, they only recovered one picture from Mr. Aldown's camera, right?
Indeed. I imagine his killer probably removed the film that was already in there, then replaced it with another, thereby ensuring that the only picture found was the one they staged.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So this picture was actually taken after Mr. Aldown was killed. No way.
That means there's another person involved in this. Oh, wait a minute, no. After Mr. Aldown was killed, the person that killed him is the one that took the picture and then set everything up alongside the kidnapper. And there you have it. The picture doesn't show what Mr. Aldown saw at all. It seems highly likely that it was simply staged to make us believe that that was the case.
Wait, so where was the president when Mr. Aldown thought he saw him being kidnapped?
Luckily, the photograph isn't the only piece of evidence we can use to try and figure that out.
Oh yeah, he left that voicemail too.
He did. I think we should listen to it one more time, don't you? This is surely the only place where the president and his kidnapper could have been standing. Ah, damn it, it won't let me...
Take that!
That's what they really were? How do you figure that?
Do I need a reason? To be fair, I wasn't even trying to... There we go, thank you. Okay, alright. It's me, I guess you're already asleep already. Here at the orphanage, something weird's going on. President Wong is in here for some reason. Is here for some reason. And there's another. Damn it, the lights are out, so I can't quite see, but it looked like he was being kidnapped. The lights went out. Lights are out. That clearly wasn't it.
Let's go over Mr. Aldown sending his message one more time. He mentioned some of the stuff he could see, right?
He did. Perhaps we can use that to help us figure out where they were standing. The lights... This is surely the only place where the president... Because right now it's like he's at the orphanage and the lights are out. Oh! Oh shit, right here!
Take that!
Because there's a lantern that's already out. Oh wait, now that I think about it, there was one at the lower right, but apparently I was right. Recall this statement from Mr. Aldown's voicemail. Damn it! The lights went out! Two of the lights here in the yard are broken.
Yeah, he must have been talking about the one over by the building.
Alright. Could you update the simulation to reflect everything we've learned?
Sure.
So there...
And there we have it. The kidnapper was really standing over by the building.
We'll just ignore that this photo was basically staged. Yes. Which would certainly have strengthened the theory that they were connected to the orphanage.
So, they moved the body and staged the photograph to distort the picture painted by the voicemail. Which helped them undermine the idea that the orphanage was involved when the case went to trial.
Well, that certainly changes what this particular part of the simulation tells us. I imagine it will also reflect or affect our understanding of the scene from when the body was found.
Only one way to find out. Ready to make the jump?
To switch between the two recreations, I need to first press Y to talk with K, and then select Switch Recreations. I'll give it a try later when I need it.
A kidnapping, a murder, and now a fire. There's too much going on here. I can't keep up.
The fire was started earlier on the evening of the incident, if I remember rightly. Before the kidnapping and the murder, in other words.
Does that mean something? The timing of the fire, I mean?
I wonder if it might, yes. Isn't there something here that can't be correct if the fire actually happened first? I should take another look at the effects of the fire on the crime scene. And compare it to the evidence. Okay.
Yes, please. Okay, let's take another look at how things were when they found the body. And there we have it.
Okay, so if he died here... So this is where Mr. F-Aldown really met his fate. But he was moved in order to make the scene consistent with the staged photograph. Over to the spot between the planters.
So the footprints, the fact that they go over there and come back...
Yes, I think that tells us something important. That they were left by whoever carried him over there. Right. Ooh, there's some cut-off blood there. Blood on the snow. A lot of it. It certainly looks as if a murder occurred here, doesn't it?
Wait, but we just figured out that Mr. F-Aldown was killed over by the snowman, right?
We did. I think this blood might belong to somebody else.
What? But the police report said the blood was Mr. F-Aldown's.
Need I remind you that the case was overseen by Chairman Winner? The man who would have had no scruples about altering the official record over something this small.
But then why go to all that trouble? Couldn't you just clean up the blood instead?
He wasn't able to. Think about it. He knew that this is where the police would find Mr. F-Aldown's body. And he knew that the police would have certain scientific methods at their disposal to look for clues.
Oh! You mean luminol? Yeah, they would have found traces of blood if they'd used that for sure.
Exactly! He wouldn't have been able to clean it up to the point where it was undetectable. Far easier to falsify the results of any such tests when they came back in. It would simply have been a matter of replacing the official results with a doctored copy.
Yeesh, so we've been looking at a forgery this whole time? That sucks. Wait, but it says Mr. F-Aldown's clothes are covered with blood too.
It does. And if they were, which seems entirely believable, it suggests that whoever's blood this is, it wasn't yet dry when Mr. F-Aldown's body was placed here. So it was fresh blood.
I get it. Which means that the other person's blood was spilled not long before Mr. F-Aldown was killed.
I think it does, yes. But if that's the case, doesn't that present something of a contradiction? You know, the funny thing is, now that I think about it, like, we've been mentioning this fire. What do we know about two particular characters involving fire? Burn marks. Rosie Ringer and Excelsius Winner. Just kind of, you know, realizing that. I think we know where they got their, I think we know where we got that stuff. Or not where we... I think I know where they, you know, got the, sorry, where they got the marks. Okay, fuck it. Wait a minute, hold on. What is one detail that doesn't make Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's the discrepancy. When did the fire take place?
Eureka!
Hold on. Yeah. Fuck, okay. I did not mean for that to happen, but I just had an accidental eureka. There's a clear contradiction here.
Huh? In the bloodstain?
The blood is clearly cut off where the snow was melted by the fire. which means that the blood in question was spilt before the fire was started.
Huh? But the fire happened before the murder, no?
If we choose to believe the case file, yes. But the fire was actually set after what happened here.
The kid who lit it might have seen something.
Then why isn't there a witness statement? Because that would have challenged Chairman Winner's version of events.
We need to know more about this fire. You!
Yeah, Shifu!
The fire might have been reported to the police, which means there might be a record of it. Go see if they have anything and bring everything you find back here right away.
Understood, Shifu! I'll get right on it!
One more thing.
What is it, Shifu?
Contact my family back in Zhangfa. Tell them to search my father's office. There should be something there related to the case.
There should? What kind of something exactly?
I told you I'd seen this scene somewhere before, didn't I? Well, I've remembered where. It was in my father's office. He had a picture of it, or at least of something very much like it.
What?
It looked like it was drawn by a child.
Possibly a child from the orphanage. Possibly even the child who set the fire.
It should still be there somewhere. Tell them to send it right away.
Yes, Shifu!
Okay, that's all right. No lie, that was legitimately an accident that I just pulled off there. Fuck it. Oh my god, they connected! That was like, oh, there's nothing else I can think of. If Chairman Winner was involved in President Wong's abduction, then it seems likely that whatever he dug up yesterday had something to do with the kidnapping.
Ooh, I get it.
You do?
You bet I do. We're talking treasure, right? Loot. He must have been digging up the ransom money.
The ransom money? $100 million is an awful lot of cash. Burying it would have been a good way to keep it hidden until the heat died down. It certainly seems like a possibility.
Glad you agree.
The concrete was broken and the earth exposed. Did Excelsius Winner dig up the ransom money? All right. Oh!
Hey! Update?
Oh no, we're back to normal, okay. Duly noted. This is great. This is legitimately fucking awesome.